Minutes later, when the South Tower came down, I realized all those firemen that ran past me, they're dead. So I don't know how do you not do it?
Did you support the war from the beginning?
I did. Clearly Iraq wasn't directly responsible for 9/11. Anybody who tells you that is silly. However, being in Iraq is the reason why we haven't had another one, and people don't get that. The main reason was to keep them on offense, keep them off tilt. This isn't a war where, you plant the flag and say we won. By keeping them on defense, you stay on offense. And if they have to run and hide their finances and do things of that nature across the entire region, then they can't, collectively go on offense. So it's it's not checkers, it's chess. There's a certain thing you realize and not to take anything away from anybody who hasn't served, but when you've worn the uniform and you've gone over there, you know something about it that other people don't know.
John McCain.
John McCain. Senator John McCain, who I wholeheartedly support for president. But there's certain people you can't talk to, you just got to kill them. That's the ugly American talking here, but that's true. That's true.
Senator Obama doesn't realize that.
I think he realizes a lot that he doesn't let on.
Most Americans want the troops to come home. I'm sure so do you. How?
The way to do it is, the troops are never going to come home completely. This is going to be a very long struggle. We're always going to be in Iraq. I tell you, you could play this 5 years from now. I promise you. And I'm not a soothsayer for saying it. We're going to be in Iraq. It doesn't matter who wins the election. You can't leave. If you look at the history of all American intervention, where have we gone that we're not there? Korea, we're still there. Japan, we're still there. Germany, we're still there. You're either the superpower or you're not. You can't get halfway pregnant. You're either the superpower or you're not. We're not leaving Iraq.
But a phased withdrawal?
We're going to have a phased withdrawal, and troops are going to come home, and it's certainly going to shift to Afghanistan. There's no doubt about that.
When? How?
Well, because Iraq has come under control. The civilian deaths are down, which is the most important thing. And I hate to say that, but for the stability of Iraq, the civilian deaths have to come down before the American deaths. We have 2 combat deaths in Iraq this month. That's about less than 1 a week. Down from 2 or 3 a day at some points. There's no massive 80 to 100 or 120 people person bombing every day in Iraq like there was. And that's because instead of cutting and running, we stuck it out and we demonstrated to certain elements that, hey, we're not going. And you got to credit President Bush for that. That must have been a very tough thing to do. It would have been better if we did things right from the start. But you have to credit him, and at the end of the day, you have to credit the man. Here we are 7 years plus, 7 years and 5 days, and we haven't been attacked again.
Where's McCain right and where's Obama wrong on pulling out the troops?
McCain is right that he said that I'd rather lose an election than lose a war.
Is that different for Obama?
It's on the face of it, the talk shows, it's different, but Senator Obama has, he said a couple of times that, we need to pull out, but he's never, and then he'll say, well, it's going to take some time. He'll depending on who he's speaking to.
But do you believe that he would rather win the elections and lose the war than the other way around?
I think deep down in his heart, no. But I think he has to say certain things in order to get there. But in the meantime, it hurts the Marines and soldiers that are over there.
What hurts them?
Because to sit in the Chow Hall at Camp Fallujah and watch Nancy Pelosi, and I was there before Senator Obama was really on the national stage, to see them say this is it's a waste of time and we don't know what they're doing. We still love the troops though, yeah, but it's like saying, we love you, but we don't love what you do.
Obama's whole campaign took off because he never supported the war from the beginning.
Yeah, and again, he's part of that fringe element that's kind of become the entire Democrat. I don't think it's really showed a lot of testicular fortitude on his end to be a state senator and say that. What bearing does that really have? I think if he really didn't have anything to lose at that point, because it's a brave thing to do, but look at the situation he was in. It just didn't. How much bearing did that have on his career, And make no mistake about it, history will show that we made the right decision to go into Iraq, but it'll also show that we made every mistake possible in trying to do that. And again, that's because we had academic civilians calling the shots instead of a guy like John McCain.
You're from New York City. We're talking here in Bagdad, Arizona. Do you miss New York?
I do. It's tough for me to be there. And I say that and people say, oh, because you remember 9/11. I say that because I can't run into people who understand. It's just here, a place like this, people understand what we're trying to do. And there are people in the big cities that do too, in New York. But it's so disheartening to me to be in New York City and to have, the city that should be most grateful and glad that we've had 7 years and 5 days of no attacks, is the least empathetic to the situation. And that's it hurts. It really hurts. It hurts. It's a major reason why I don't live there. Major reason.